catch 'em all.
Hey everyone, Elite Trainer CJ here, and today we are going to go over the top normal type Pokemon in Pokemon Go as of right now. So let's go ahead and get into the video, but before we do that, make sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and the notification bell so that way you won't miss another video. Let's get going. Coming in at number 5 is Ursaring with a max CP of 2,945, max HP of 173, attack of 236, defense of 144, and stamina of 207. So this Pokemon is alright overall. It's a very interesting moveset. It can learn Counter, Play Rough, and also Hyper Beam, and I think there's a couple others. Me personally, I have it as Counter and Play Rough because I use mine for PvP, mostly to go up against the Umbreons in the Great Cup. Yes, Counter and Play Rough do perfect against that, and people don't really see it coming, so they don't really shield it. I wouldn't use it to defend gyms unless you had the shiny, then go for it. And then also use it if you want to go up against an Umbreon or something that's a dark type, probably Darkrai. Like Darkrai is in the raids right now. Yeah, you can use Counter and also Play Rough, and that would be actually pretty good against it. But yeah, if you have the shiny, then kudos to you. Alright, let's go ahead and see what number 4 is. Coming in at number 4 is Braviary with a max CP of 3,088 with an HP of 187, attack of 232, defense of 152, and stamina of 225. Now before Generation 5 was added, Staraptor was actually in the top 5, but Braviary takes over as the normal and flying type. And I don't really know too much about Braviary. I have yet to get mine yet, but it is a normal and flying type, and I don't believe it has the best movesets for either typing. I would say, hey, if you have it, you know, you can put it in the gym, put it as a defender. The defense isn't that great. I would say use it to attack gyms because the attack stat is pretty good and the stamina is pretty good and the HP is alright, so it would last a bit when you're going up and fighting against like a fighting type. So go ahead and try that out. But anyways, let's go ahead and see what number 3 is. Coming in at number 3 is Snorlax with a max CP of 3,225, max HP of 269, attack of 190, defense of 169, and stamina of 330. As you can see, it has a pretty good HP and stamina stat, so that's why this Pokemon's pretty far up there. I mean, looking at Snorlax, you know, it's a big guy, so you would expect it to have HP where it can take a few hits because, you know, it's got a big belly. What's gonna happen? It's gonna right off of its belly or something, you know. But anyways, Snorlax is a pretty decent Pokemon. It can hold gyms pretty well because other than fighting, it's not really weak to anything. I mean, most of these Pokemon on this list is like that, but Snorlax can actually take some, you know, pretty decent hits and still, you know, survive a little bit longer than the others would, just because of that stamina and HP. Other than that, Snorlax is kind of decent in PvP from what I've seen. I know if you have like Lick and Body Slam, it's really good. It's pretty decent for, you know, like if you're going up against a ghost type Pokemon in a raid, I guess, since it has Lick. Just make sure you have Lick on it because Lick will you know, go off pretty fast compared to the other moves that it has. Definitely do not use Yawn in this Pokemon whatsoever. It's like slacking. It does not do any damage. Yes, it gets the charge move did charge a little bit faster, but Yawn does 0 damage, so that's kind of pointless at this point. Other than that, Snorlax is a pretty decent overall normal type Pokemon, and yeah, go ahead and use it for raids. I guess if you want to go up against a ghost type, go ahead and use it to defend gyms since it's only weak to fighting type, and go ahead and use it in PvP if you want. I mean, it maxes out at 3,225, so I mean, you can have it in Master League, Ultra League, or even Great League. Alright, let's go ahead and see what number 2 is. Coming in at number 2 is Porygon Z with the max CP of 3,266, max HP of 166, max attack of 264, defense of 150, and stamina of 198. This Pokemon is a attack heavy Pokemon. It is the third stage of the Porygon line, and it has Lock On, which is a fantastic move for this Pokemon. So I would say that this Pokemon is actually pretty good for Ultra and Master League. Don't quote me, but I mean, it has Hyper Beam, it has, I think, Blizzard, Thunder, and I think Hyper Beam. So I know it has a vast majority of, some pretty decent moves, and with Lock On, those would go off pretty instantly. Other than that, it's only weak to fighting type, and it, Ghost does nothing to it. So if you have like Hidden Power Ghost or Hidden Power Dark or something like that, and you go up in a raid against a Ghost type, or if you go and do battle a gym that has a lot of Ghost type or something like that, or just like a diverse amount of Pokemon, and this one has like 3 different moves that can cover a whole bunch of different typings. This Pokemon is pretty versatile. Its attack stat is its best, as you can see, with 264, and I mean overall this Pokemon is pretty good. I'm trying to get a Porygon with Lock On to get to Porygon Z with Lock On to try to use for PvP, see how that does. Anyways, let's go ahead and see what the number 1 Pokemon is. Number 1 on the list is Slacking with a max CP of 4,431, max HP of 233, attack of 290, defense of 166, and stamina of 284. Now this Pokemon seems too good to be true. Like 4,000 CP, not many Pokemon are like that. Not many Pokemon can get that high. How is it so good? Well, it's not as good as it seems. Yes, it has some pretty good charge moves, but the fast attack does nothing for it. The only move it can learn for the fast attack is Yawn. It does have Body Slam, Play Rough, and I think a couple other moves for the charge, but Yawn destroys this Pokemon. It's good for defending gyms, I guess, and basically nothing else. Really, Slacking is just really not that good, honestly, because of Yawn. Yawn just kills this whole Pokemon. Other than that, I think it's a pretty cool looking Pokemon. I know the shiny is out. I prefer to use Vidroth because in the Great League, Vidroth is just really good. As counter, Body Slam, I think Mud Bomb, a couple other moves. It's pretty versatile, so it's pretty cool. I would suggest that over Slacking, even though the Slacking gets super high CP. But yes, that is number 1 on the list. So that is the top 5 Pokemon when it comes to the normal typing in Pokemon Go. Of course, for these lists, I'm not using any legendary Pokemon because it's going to be a list of legendary Pokemon for a majority of these moves, for these typings. So yes, but what do you guys think of the list? Go ahead and let me know in the comment section down below, and also let me know what typing you want me to do next. Anyways, I am elitetrainercj. Make sure to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notification bell so that way you won't miss another video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.